Hey, what's going on, guys? Just got some North Korea propaganda gameplay for you guys today, rolling with the MG4, and I managed to finish 44 and 5 in this game. Now, I'm not going to talk too much about this gameplay. I'm going to actually talk a little bit about objective gameplay in Battlefield 4. Now, the title of this video was Play This Fucking Objective. No, sorry, it was Play the Fucking Objective, not Play This Fucking Objective. And the reason I titled this video today is that I want to talk a little bit about objective play in Battlefield 4 and perhaps some solutions that might help improve the objective gameplay in Battlefield 4. Now, there's a YouTuber who goes by the name Sergeant Danger Cow, and he proposes an idea that could be implemented in Battlefield 4. And it's basically, imagine in Conquest you have the flag, and there would be a sphere of influence around that flag area. So, for example, if you got a kill directly on the flag, you'd get an additional multiplier of, say, 0.8, while if you were right on the edge of the flag, you'd only get a multiplier of, say, 0.2 or 0.25. So the idea there is to try and get people on the objectives more and try and be more active, so you get more points. Therefore, if you play the objective mode, jump on the flag, you'll get more points. Simple idea, but it could work. I definitely think there's some merit there. However, the problem I have with this idea, and it's not with the idea in general, it's just a little bit about it, is that there's a problem with how you define playing the objective. Now, many people will just say, well, it's obvious. You just cap the flag in the case of Conquest, or arm the MCOM in the case of Rush, and the same goes for the other game modes. But playing the objective isn't all about doing that. Playing the objective is controlling traffic, so stopping players from getting to certain areas of the map so they can't flank, breaking choke points, holding choke points, and just generally, having control of the map. So, for example, say you were playing Conquest on Operation Locker and you're trying to hold the middle flag. There's two entrances. There's the main entrance pointing towards the enemy spawn, and there's the entrance to the outside of the map. Those are the two entrances you'd want to control the traffic and control the hold of the flag. Now, if somebody was outside and controlling that area, they would be missing out the points on the inside area of the flag. So having this system, would it reach out to that area so that player who is not necessarily on the flag but they're actually defending it, they're stopping people from getting in that entrance and going that direction to it, would that guy be missing out on those points? I don't actually think that would be fair, do you? I mean, he or she, would be playing the objective, but according to this system they may not be, depending on how large this sphere of influence actually is. And there's actually further issues that may arise from having this system in place. So imagine maps like Metro. They get very crowded and players tend to not move up. You must have experienced this. You'd be pushing in, say, Operation Metro, second set of MCOMs on Rush, and you get stuck in those corridors on the left side and in the middle, and often up on the right if your team doesn't push in quick enough. And what tends to happen is that you get stuck in these choke points, and they're not natural choke points. They're not there because two teams are colliding directly at each other evenly on the map. They've been produced there because players are not pushing in. They're just sitting there, and these choke points arise because of that. They're artificial in a sense. If that makes sense to you guys. What I'm trying to say is that players don't move in, so if we have this system of extra points in certain areas, are we going to see an influx of players that aren't going to push in, that aren't going to do anything because they know that they can get more points by simply being in this area? I mean, you only have to have been playing FPS games since forever, and people will do this. If there's a way of getting an advantage over you and get more kills, people are going to be more inclined to do that. It's a simple thing that is evident in any FPS multiplayer. It doesn't matter if it's Battlefield or Call of Duty or whatever you're playing, you'll see this day in, day out. So I think there's definitely some issues there with that, but I think it's a neat idea. You should definitely go check out his video. He explains it in a bit more detail. There is a lot more to it. I'm just giving a basic overview of what it is. So that is definitely something to think about. Now, one thing someone else has actually suggested was to change the scoreboard. Now, if you've ever played Bad Company 2, the scoreboard would only show to you your kill-death ratio and your individual stats, accuracy and all that good stuff, and the scoreboard that everybody else could see was purely points. So nobody would know if you went 20-0. They only knew how many points you got. So there was a sort of a view on, did this player like really do some damage, or did he do nothing the entire game? It doesn't necessarily show how much objective play you did. It's just points, which it's hard to really say what they did. I mean, they could have gone on a huge kill streak, but you wouldn't really know. Now, a lot of people are saying that maybe if we introduce that back, then people would be more inclined to just focus on points and objectives. But the problem I see with that is that if it doesn't show kill-death ratio, that you can't really make out whether they were really playing hard. So, for example, if a guy goes 20-0 and they capture a ton of flags, they'll be right near the top of the scoreboard. But somebody who goes 20-0, doesn't arm any objectives, doesn't cap any flags, doesn't get any revives or support resupplies, you know, they're going to be on the bottom. So you on the original scoreboards that you see in Battlefield 4, there's definitely, it's already there. You can already see how well people did, because the kill death ratio and the points is shown. So you can, you know, you can literally see, you know, this guy went 20-0, but this guy went 20-0 and captured the objective. So the idea of changing the scoreboard back to Bad Company 2, I don't think it's necessary. I think it's already good how it is in Battlefield 4, but there's definitely some improvements that they could make, like Sergeant Danger Cow does mention in his video having an extra section to the scoreboard showing other stuff. I definitely think that there's some merit there, and I think that would be useful. Now, one more thing, there's talk of extra points for more objective stuff. So, for example, you'd have less points for kills. So, that may, or it may not, but it may help get people playing and jumping on the objectives more. So, you know, imagine if you can get an extra four times the points while capping the flag rather than just running around getting kills, you may be more inclined to do that. But again, I'm not too sure if that would really make anyone want to. I mean, at the end of the day, we have to think that we are playing in public games with random players. People are going to play however they want, and you have to take skill level into account. You know, some games it's going to be full of new players and not very good players. You know, people who are just having fun with the game, just trying it out, seeing what's going on. And then the next game you could be full with, you know, the best of the best players, the top clans, even pro players, if depending on the platform that you're playing on, you never know, and depending on server, of course. So, you know, when you're going into a random lobby, you can't really expect anything but random results. You know, not everyone is playing the objective, and not everyone knows how to play the objective so well. You know, there is a huge amount of players who literally conform to the idea of playing the objective is just jumping straight onto flags blindly without really seeing what's going on in the situation. So, for example, the best way to jump on a flag is not to just run straight to it. It's actually to scope out the area and just go, you know, if I jump on this flag right now, am I going to get shot and then have to respawn 30 seconds later in? Or do I just take 5 seconds just to see what's going on and then assess the situation and then go for the flag? You know, that's the wiser option. And a lot of people don't do that because, not because they're necessarily bad players, it's just they're not experienced enough to really know what they should be doing. So you have to take player skill and, you know, just general the player base into account when think about these things. But you know, I definitely think there's some merit to some of these ideas. I definitely think Sergeant Danger Cow's video is worth checking out. Definitely go check that one out if you have time. You know, just this gameplay is coming to an end now. Actually, I should talk a little bit about this. It's I finished up with 44 kills and 5 deaths, I do believe, with MG4. This propaganda map is actually one of my favourite maps of the DLC, the Dragon's Teeth DLC. Definitely a map for LMGs. If you know what you're doing, these fuck's sake, I've gone 10 minutes now without jumbling my words, and then it happens right at the end. Right. This map is just brilliant for LMGs. Definitely. I've noticed there isn't actually that many people using LMGs. I reckon with this latest patch that's going to up the time to kill, I definitely think there's going to be a lot more LMGs going around so they can get that extra ammo, that larger magazine. I definitely think we're going to be seeing a lot more users in the next, whenever the next patch is. I'm not sure when the next patch is. There's a recent server update that's gone live just a couple of days ago. I don't think there's any patch notes there, so we have to see what that's all about. But yeah, that's pretty much the game, guys. I hope you all enjoyed the commentary. Let me know what you think about what I've been talking about in the comments below. Drop me a like if you think this is worth sharing. Please do, it really helps me out. I know I hate saying that. I absolutely hate saying that. I feel so cheap saying that, but this is YouTube. Yep, this is how it works. But anyway, guys, I'll see you in the next one. Take it easy.